This is interesting. Uh, what? Um, what? Oh, are you serious? This is, wow. So, oh my god. I can't play the video game. It's the exact same bug that I got 3 times in a row with the clown. So, after this, I'm gonna try to not bring a blood point offering. Because, that seems to be what's triggering this. If I do this again, and it's just not a blood point offering, it's just a random bug you get, I'm done. I know I had a big tantrum the last time I did this, because I got this 3 times in a row, but I'm gonna be just honest behavior. This is unacceptable as a developer. There should not be a game-breaking bug that literally makes it so you can't play the video game. You can hear me pressing the buttons. What? I brought... five times. So I queued up one game earlier as killer. Regular game. And, I got to play one of my 6 games the last 6 times I've queued up in this game. Because of this bug. Hello folks, I'm the Ghost with Knife, and y'all saw the title. Before I get into the topic of the video, I wanted to go ahead and apologize for the quality of the games you're going to see as I talk. I have to do a voiceover in my editing software, which puts the entire gameplay in a tiny window thanks to my editing tools overlay. I have to zoom in so you at least have something to watch. There's nothing I can do about this, sadly. With that out of the way, let's get this over with. The clip we started with was the last straw with this game and these developers. When I quit over a year ago, my biggest problem with Dead by Daylight were performance issues. My return to Dead by Daylight was mostly due to the fact that I'd heard rumors that Dead by Daylight was finally performing at a level that was leaps and bounds better than when I left. Coming back, I can honestly tell you that I strongly disagreed, and as a matter of fact, I believe that Dead by Daylight has become even worse. The amount of stuttering and rubber banding in this game on average is absolutely staggering. And in a game where you need split-second movements and decision-making, any amount of rubber banding or stuttering is something that needs to be a top priority for the developers to fix as soon as possible. On top of that, this game was absolutely riddled to the brim with bugs. It is baffling the amount of bugs you can find by just booting up a game. Things don't load, there are certain ways to fake vault windows and pallets. Certain killer powers have absolutely abhorrent hit detection or flat out don't even work. Certain parts of the map you can just fall through. Pretty much, if you can think of it, it's probably happened throughout the 6 years of this game's existence. And instead of bringing content to a halt so they can dedicate everything they can to either fixing the performance or the bug issues, behavior has doubled and even tripled down on pushing content out as much as possible. Behavior in the past 2 to 3 years have given us almost absolute confirmation that the only thing they care about, the only thing that drives them to keep this game going, is making money. It took them 5 years to fix one of the biggest core issues with the game that the entire community was telling them needed to be fixed. However, it only took 3 years to implement a battle pass and a fancy store where you can buy all the skins you want. I can remember when they first announced this big roadmap for the player base on what they were supposed to change and when we were going to expect content and patches, because we had gotten to the point with behavior where all they were doing was releasing band-aid fixes through new perks and new characters. And I also remember when they did their first big patch for this roadmap just how much of a massive disappointment it was. Since this time, Behavior has done everything they can to acquire more licenses, and to continue to push content creation through new characters and new skins, even though the game has grown increasingly more unsteady on a performance level to the point where back when the Nemesis was released, the game barely functioned for console players. And a year later, the problem has become even worse. Now, here we are, 6 years into this game's lifespan, with the newest content out. The new night patch has introduced us to a brand new bug to the game that literally makes it so you can't play the game. How in the name of hell's deepest pits this even got past playtesters or the PTB is mind-blowing, or at least it should be. Instead, now that my anger has subsided over this absolutely game-shattering bug, I find myself at a point where I'm not surprised or shocked. Behavior through the years has neglected this game as developers, and have given me, I don't know about many other people, but me in particular, the mentality of just not being surprised that this absolutely game-breaking bug exists. After years of band-aid fixes to problems and patches that are just overhyped garbage that don't really fix anything, Behavior has cemented itself as a team that doesn't give a damn if their product works. Behavior has repeatedly shown their community that they are focused on making money. Behavior has refused to admit they were wrong and taken the time they need to fix the game they supposedly make for the love of it for literally years. And honestly, I've had enough. This lack of performance from Dead by Daylight and its infestation of bugs since day one of this game's release are more than enough for any player to abandon this lost cause of a game. Dead by Daylight is so absolutely broken that it comes off as a game that's still in alpha even though it's lived for 6 years. And I refuse to promote this product for one single solitary second anymore. I refuse to put more money into a company that cares so little for its community they would so easily release a product you can't even play. When Cyberpunk 2077 was released and unplayable, people refused to buy it or even give it the time of day. When Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out and was a bug-ridden disaster, people bashed it to hell and back. Dead by Daylight is a game 6 years in, and now on the same quality as both of these titles on release. It is a broken and legitimately unplayable dumpster fire that somehow keeps a player base. As someone who once loved this game, I can't support this anymore. I cannot sit in good conscience and ignore these bugs and the performance issues and the development team that genuinely doesn't care. I cannot stand by and let these developers release patches and content that is such a deliberate slap in the face to its players. I will not watch any more Dead by Daylight content. I will not release Dead by Daylight content, and I will not support it anymore. I officially quit Dead by Daylight once and for all. And this time, I'm not coming back.